Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our TVD group discussion session this afternoon. Please use the virtual background and mute your audio, as TVD group discussion is about to begin. The Honorable Director of Valuation, Mr. Ari Haryono, distinguished guests, dear friends and colleagues, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon and be peace from God Almighty be upon us. We welcome you to our TVD group discussion session today, October 21st, 2022, through online media meetings. First of all, let's say thanks to God who has been giving us guidance, happiness, healthy, and mercy so we can attend and participate in this event without any obstacles. Before we proceed to our group discussion, let's take a silent moment and pray. Let the prayer begin. Thank you. We hope we are all granted with good health, and we all pray that the pandemic that is currently hitting us in every continent will disappear soon. Honorable distinguished speaker, friends, and colleagues, carrying on the next part. Before that, sorry. Hello, Miss Sari FItriani.
Hello, Miss.
Good afternoon. Okay.
Yeah. And good morning from Norway. Anyway,
oh,
it's still 10:19 here.
Oh, okay. So sorry. Okay, carrying on the next part. Without any further ado, allow me introduce our moderator for today, the one who will accompany us through the whole event's presentation until questions and answer sessions afterwards. Please give a warm welcome to our moderator, Mr. Alif Muhammad. This time is yours.
Okay, Mas Bayu, thank you for your warm welcome. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, and Honorable Director of Valuation, Pak Arik, and all participants of this TVD sharing session. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome again to the TVD sharing session for today, a webinar that aims to learn more about valuation in fun ways. And also this sharing session is broad in English. Please do not hesitate if you want to ask or discuss something during the session. And because at the end of the day, we will learn something new from our speakers. Okay, before we start our session, let me introduce myself. I'm your moderator today. My name is Alif Muhammad, and you can call me Alif. Now allow me to welcome our speaker, Mbak Sari FItriani. Good morning, Mbak Sari.
Thank you, Mas. Good morning and good afternoon.
Yeah, in Indonesia it's after 3 p.m. Okay, thank you for coming, Mbak Sari. Before we begin, I would like to introduce our speaker. She has been working for PT Hutan Orangutan Perlindungan Ekosistem, or PT HOPE, since 2018 as a manager. But in the past, she also served as a Habitat Protection Program Manager and also Government Relation in Center for Orangutan Protection, or COP, in 2018 to 2021. Mbak Sari received her bachelor's degree in physics in Bandung Institute of Technology in 2015 and is currently taking her double degree program of ASEAN Master in Sustainability Management in University of Gajah Mada and University of Agder, Norway. I think I pronounced that right. Looking at her educational background, she's taking a hard turn from physics to environmental studies. So her expertise range from physics to, well, the sustainability management and also environmental studies. Well, in today's sharing session, Mbak Sari will share and present an exciting topic, a critical role of accounting valuation for sustainable development. As we know that environmental and economic accounting provides more comprehensive view of relationship information between the economy, the environment, and also the stocks of environmental assets. It facilitates better decision making, and it's a good means of monitoring our natural resources. Well, it's interesting, right? So I'm pretty sure our participant here can wait to hear the presentation from our speaker today, Mbak Sari. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mbak Sari. Please, Mbak Sari, you can start your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Mas Alif. And I would like to say thank you also for this opportunity to Pak Hari, Pak Arik, and everyone's here. So hopefully what I will be presenting today will be useful and give some more insights on what is sustainability and also what like your critical role for sustainability development. All right, let's begin. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, is it visible now?
Yes.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible, Mbak.
All right. So, good afternoon in Jakarta and good morning from Kristiansand, Norway. So I'm, as introduced before, my name is Sari FItriani. I'm currently pursuing my master degree in sustainability management, and today I would like to present about the critical role of accounting valuation for sustainable development. So previously, Mas Alif already introduced me, but then let me just introduce myself. So I went for my undergrad education in 2011 and graduated in 2016, and I studied physics back then, physics. And then after that, I joined a community development program. It is from the KASDM, the Energy Ministry. So I lived in a remote and rural area. It was in Mentawai Island, West Sumatra. I lived there for 6 months to help the local community managing the solar power plants that was built for them from Kementerian ASDM. And then in 2017, I also joined a program called Patriot Energi Brau. So I helped the local community in Brau, East Kalimantan. So I lived with the Dayak people there for a year to help them on how to develop their village better. And then after that, I joined an NGO called Center for Orangutan Protection. And yeah, the last thing that I did was helping to establish a company for ecosystem restoration concession. But then I already resigned like a few months ago because I need to focus on my thesis. And yeah, I'm currently pursuing my master degree. It is called the ASEAN Master in Sustainability Management. From 2021 until now, it is a double degree program from Gajah Mada University or UGM, and also in collaboration with the University of Agder in Norway. And yeah, I'm currently in my 3rd semester. So I've been writing my thesis, and now I'm in Norway to finish my thesis. And if you guys interested in my program, well, I will explain it later at the end of my presentation. So this is the outline that I will talk about today. So I will talk about what is sustainability development and also a bit about accounting valuation, because I'm sure you guys here knows better than me about valuation. And also I will give insight about sustainability approach from actors' perspective, and also sustainability approach according to the issues. And I will take some key points from that. And then yeah, I will explain more about my master degree program. Oops. So first of all, let's begin with a quiz. Can you guys scan the barcode or just go to the link that I mentioned? We will play a little game before we started. I just want to know what's on your mind when you hear about sustainability. Okay. Wait. All right. So I guess you already opened the link, so I can stop this screen now, and I will share my other screen here. Oops. Wait. All right. Okay. 7 people already answered. So I'm waiting for the rest because we have 43 people here, or maybe I can share the link. Oh, thank you, Mbak Puspa. Mbak Puspa already shared the link on the chat box. Okay, almost impossible ya. Berkelanjutan ya, holistic, maintain, conservation, lifelong ESG. Oh, someone mentioned about ESG. Is it my colleague, my classmate? And what else? Future. Interesting. Planning, yeah. Long last, never stop. Okay. Keep going. Now we have 23 answers. 25. Come on. Lifelong, never stop, almost impossible. Future, control flow, continuity. What else? ESG. What else? Planning, maintain. Okay, 27. Okay, keep coming. Ability. Okay, longevity. Never stop. Okay, 29, still 29. I think we have more. We have 45, 40 one participants now. Okay, let's go. Come on. I want to see what's your perspective about sustainability. You can check the chat box if you don't know where to answer this, and you will see the link. Okay, defense. All right. Resilient, nice. Collaboration, right. Maintain planning ability. Resilient. All right. I think oh, it keeps coming. What else? Ability, resilient, collaboration, defense, planning, continuous, holistic, maintain, continuously, long last, but almost impossible. Is it? All right. Oh, conservation also continue. All right. Let me back to my presentation. Okay. So, yeah, you already mentioned about continuous and also what is collaboration, resilient, and someone also said it's almost impossible and something like that. But then what is sustainability exactly? So the most used definition of sustainability was given by the United Nations. It is to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So maybe you guys are already familiar with these colorful sustainable development goals if you are living in Jakarta, but because I guess it's already everywhere. And every time someone or something mentioned about sustainability, they will put some colorful goals about the SDGs or Sustainable Development Goals. So yeah, according to the UN definition, we can see that the point is to meet the needs of the present. So what do we need now? So we need the resources, right, to cope with life, for food, for continuing our life and something like that. But without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So it's talking about the future, about our sons, our children or our grandchildren, that they will need the same resources as we have here now. So it's actually it is about us versus the resources, because there's a lot of people living in the planet, but we only have one planet to fulfill all of our needs. So yeah, the point is to maintain, to balance, and also to equally replace what has been used so it can be useful for the next generation. And then we know about the definition about sustainability or sustainability development. We can reflect with our life now. Like, I think we who live in Jakarta, we know that we have been like over-consume things, resources that leads to the air pollution and also climate change. It's been discourses in all around the world, and also plastic pollution. You guys, I'm sure you already heard about the plastic campaigns everywhere, and also the declining ecosystem health. Okay, so well, actually, sustainability is the ability to understand how all things are connected to each other. So we can't talk only about the environment, we can talk only about the economic, we can only talk about the social or the equity, but we talk about how the environment will have the relationship with the economic, but also the other way around, how the economic will affect the environment and also the society, and the connection of the tree, something like that. And I guess if you are coming from economics or something like that, you will be familiar with the demand and supply concept, right? And yeah, it's the same with sustainability. Like we have to balance in using the resources to balance the three key points here: the environment, the economic, and the social. So we have to use the resources in a way at the replacement rate to reach the equilibrium state. So are we now in a equilibrium state? Because, well, we can reflect that the human population, especially in Indonesia, has been increasing like crazy, especially during the pandemics, because people cannot do anything but making children, something like that. And also we have depleted resources. We know that there are a lot of campaigns about the natural resources destruction, ecosystem destruction, and something like that. And also economic inequality. There's a lot of poor people, but then the economic, the gap to the rich people are so high, something like that. And commonly, countries use GDP to measure about their economic growth. That economic growth is the first thing that people are focused on, and that's and GDP, or gross domestic product, is the indicator that a country are developed or in developing stage. But is it enough to measure the economic welfare only from the GDP or only from looking at the economic growth? You can answer it yourself. Okay, next. Well, accounting valuation. So it's the keys to measure, like how can we measure that? How do we know that we have an economic growth, or how do we know that we have a balanced use of natural resources? Well, the answer that has been used by many is accounting valuation. So it's been used as a tool of measurement of assets and liabilities in regards to economic assets, also for natural resources. And since well, sustainability has been a popular and important concept, but it's kind of difficult to define with precision and to measure sustainability. How do we know that we already achieved sustainability? So there's some accounting systems that has been used by many countries and governments. Well, it is included economic accounting. Well, maybe it's like the Directorate of Valuation has been doing, evaluating assets and liabilities of the country to know the wealth of the state, something like that. But then, because sustainability is kind of been urgent to measure, there's also a natural capital accounting, or the SEEA, the system of economic and environmental economic accounting. It is incorporating the natural capital and also the economic aspects into the statistics framework. And there's also ecosystem accounting, including the SEEA ecosystem accounting, and also ocean accounting that has been doing by the Directorate of Valuation as well. And it's also my thesis. But the ecosystem accounting is still in the stage of pilots, and also it's not yet developed as a final framework as economic accounting. Okay, next. So the triple bottom line, still talking about sustainability. So in sustainability, there's a common term that has been used by, especially in the business sector. It is the triple bottom line. It stands for people, planet, and profit, and how to balance all the three. And this concept has been the inspiration for today's sustainability agenda in business sector. So now business sector has social return on investment to count their sustainability progress, and also some of them have ESG, a framework or a report to investors to show investors that their business are environmental, social, and socially sound. But however, it has profit as one of its point here, and it's kind of confusing to some people, because it is somehow create understanding to focus on financial or economic interest only, and then the other, like planet or environment or people or social, just the thing to support their profit. And as a result, like the social return on investment or ESG is nothing but an accounting and reporting tool, while the profit remains in the center of interest. And sustainability doesn't supposed to be like that. Sustainability is supposed to be balancing everything, not like making one point of the tree as the center and overpowering the others. So the concept was renewed and into people, planet, and prosperity. And also like there's also externalities that has been unpriced in the current economic system. Like while we are in Indonesia, we can enjoy the water and also the prices of goods in a low price, because we didn't count for the for the environment and social impacts that contribute, that is affected by the economic activities to produce that goods. Yeah, something like that. So this is the sustainability approach that has been done. And if we are looking from the actor's perspective, oops, sorry. So from the business perspective, so many companies, business sectors, they already take some efforts to move towards sustainability. So commonly they use these three framework or strategies. It is a corporate social responsibility. Maybe some of you already know about CSR. Commonly, companies do some activities to support the social activities around their companies, or give some money for the village or something like that. And also there's also ESG, as I mentioned before. It's a reporting system for the investors to show them that the company will comply to the sustainability concept from environmental, social, and governance perspective. And there's also this emerging concept of carbon offset to balance out the emission of the companies. Commonly, it is applied on the companies that work on emitting carbon gas emission, something like that. So yeah, now we are moving from the government perspective. So it's not only the business sector that take an effort to move towards sustainability. So there's also some efforts that has been done by the government from setting a conservation area. So maybe you already know that in Indonesia we have national park, Taman Nasional, and also like we have hutan lindung, protected forest, and something like that. And we also have marine protected areas like Taman Wisata Air and something like that. If you ever go to doing recreation, most of them maybe is a marine protected areas or conservation forest. And also there's also a scheme for payment for ecosystem services. So it's a scheme to pay for externalities. Maybe you already heard about REDD plus. It is a incentive that is paid to the village people or to maintain the ecosystem in a forest as a result of getting the resources from that forest, something like that. And also carbon tax and cap and trade. Well, maybe you guys already know about this because it's from the Ministry of Finance. So there's a freshly published carbon tax policy in Indonesia, but I guess there's no implementing policy yet. I guess I've never been following it up again. And also renewable energy. So like the government has been building renewable energy source plans for remote areas that doesn't have the electricity from PLN, something like that. So another actors is CSOs or NGOs that are social organization perspective. Maybe you already know about WWF, the Nature Conservancy, Greenpeace, even ACT or ACT, Save the Children, Indonesian Waste Platform, Wildlife Conservation Societies. Well, they commonly work to help or assist the government or maybe the local communities or maybe advocate against the current socio-economical issues like in wildlife conservation, biodiversity and habitat, waste management, social welfare, education, and so on. And then let's talk about the sustainability approach according to the issues. So here, renewable energy. So there are several options to use renewable energy because, coal energy, it is called like black energy that it's not really good for the planet because it has a high carbon emission from that. So people and the government around the world are moving towards to use renewable energy instead of coal or oil energy. So biomass energy is also called as energy crops, that it can come from plants, like in Indonesia, it is commonly comes from palm oil. But then if you surf through all the article in Google, you can see that biomass energy also have a controversy that some people see it as a green way to destruct forests because it is a renewable energy, of course, because it emits less carbon emission. But then it is also destruct the forest because we need to plant, we need to clear the lands, and commonly it is from forests to plant the plants and then to make a green energy from that. And also solar power plant. or sun energy. This is the approach that has been done by the Ministry of Energy, Kementerian ASDM. Also the program that I joined before. But then the problem with the solar power plant energy is it is expensive, not only talking about the facilities, but also about the maintaining the facility. Because my previous work in helping the people to manage and to maintain the solar power plant it is hard to maintain. Well, it's not hard to maintain as like technical complicated, but since it is located in a remote area and the people there they don't have education level as high as us who lives in Java, so it's kind of hard to make them understand, and or also for them to connect to the people who can help them in maintaining the facilities, because commonly the people who has the knowledge or the responsibility over the plants are located in Jakarta. So most of the plants that has been built are not working anymore or mangkrak in Indonesia. So is it a sustainable way of spending money? So it's a big question as well. And also another renewable energy source is wind power, but it's been neglected in Indonesia. It's not really being utilized well. And also I got an interesting article that we can beat the coal energy compared to renewable energy if the politics and also the policy design is not really supporting for the country, for the development to move towards renewable energy. And conservation. So in conservation, there's also some approach to move towards sustainability. So if you guys know about the palm oil sectors or forest sectors, even though they are destructing the forest, they have the strategy to conserve the forest as well and to protect the biodiversity. Commonly, it is the strategy mentioned about the HCV or high conservation value and high conservation stock, high carbon stock. High conservation value is and high carbon stock is like they don't clear the land where there is a biodiversity value, or the area has a carbon stock value that will be contribute to the ecosystem, something like that. So if there's a, let's say, orangutan or elephant or any critical wildlife living there, they should not open the area. And also when they are, well, commonly if a company open the land to do for plantation or for mining or something like that, they will also do a FPIC approach, free prior informed consent. It is like socializing what are their intention and also activities in there, so the community or the society will give a consent for them to do the activities there. But then even so, like issues like land conflict, social change, like maybe some people like the communities, they are turned to be more mata duitan. They try to get more money because there's a companies coming to take their land, something like that. And also it relates so much for the wildlife trafficking, because when a company, when someone opens a land in a really big area, the wildlife will be easily to be seen in the border, in the area between the cleared forest and also the forest, and there comes the hunters, so they will hunt all the wildlife they can get from there, and then sometimes they eat them, but sometimes if they are in contact with any wildlife trafficker, they can sell it to them. And that's why right now we have orangutans in Thailand and maybe in other countries, something like that. It is supported by the wildlife trafficking activities because of that. And also restoration. I think you already know that there are some efforts to plant the trees and also to transplant the corals, because it is already destroyed by human activities. But then what we need to ask more is it really making impact, and what's the progress, and how after that? Or is it only ceremonial, like after planting, after transplant the coral? So then what? How to monitor it? How, and is it really create an impact or something like that? Or is it only ceremonial? Because sometimes people only post the ceremonial events and don't care about what happened next. And also from wildlife. Well, maybe some of you have a pet, like a wildlife pet at home, because it's been popular in Indonesia, especially in the pandemic era where people are so bored at home and they try to find some fun by petting the wild animals, something like that, like from monkeys, long-tailed monkeys, and what else? Birds. Well, but sometimes it also like there are also some wildlife, like critical wildlife that is been kept as pet from that. And some of the influencers on social media who keep wildlife as pet, they kind of defend themselves that it's a conservation act, it's a conservation effort, because if they release it to the nature, the wildlife cannot survive because they already domesticated. But then why we domesticate a wildlife if it's wild at the first place, right? Or is it a gate to wildlife trafficking? Because sometimes when you enter that word, they don't only kept the wildlife as their pet, but they also make it as a side business for them. They will have a transaction behind that and something like that. And also the current report from Gakum KLHK, they made a report and they report that the estimation to the state loss because of wildlife trafficking is about 80 billion rupiah. Like it's a lot. Like we won't get this money by selling the wildlife, but then if we look more on the HCV and HCS that I mentioned before, that it will affect so much on the ecosystem, because when a forest, it doesn't have any biodiversity or any value on the biodiversity on the ecosystem, it will be easily cleared by anyone, and there will be more land conflict, more social change, and more issues about that. Okay, next we are moving forward to waste issues. So have you ever been to Bantar Gebang landfill in Jakarta? No, it's not in Jakarta. It's in Bekasi actually, where I live. So yeah, I live in Bekasi, and I've been going around Bantar Gebang because I have a friend there who she has a program for the children there, and Bantar Gebang is really impressive in building mountains of waste there. So I once hiked the waste mountain there, and I think maybe it's a good experience to try for you. So yeah. So regarding to waste, maybe you already heard about the no plastic campaign and something like that, and people are more moving toward paper-based packaging. But is it really a solution, or it is just a replacement? Because paper comes from the trees, and the trees comes from the clear forest, and it will just move one issues to another issues. And well, we have to refer back to what sustainability means, because sustainability means to maintain the resources. So like replacing plastic bags to paper-based packaging is not a solution for me, but how we can manage ourselves to be not an over consumer, that's the more important thing. And also, we as Indonesian, I'm sure you're already familiar with the saying like buang sampah pada tempatnya, like throw the garbage in its place. But we don't know what happens next. Like we already feel good just to throw our waste to the garbage bin or something like that. But then what? Because the letter will be led to the landfill, this massive Bantar Gebang landfill. So it's not enough to just throwing the garbage in its place. And also individual and institutional 3R: reduce, reuse, and recycle. I'm sure you're already familiar as well with reduce, reuse, and recycle. And maybe some of you already do composting at home to manage their organic waste, something like that. But is it enough? And then, well, we are in the stage of that we need to a strong policy empowerment through top-down approach to drive mindset, habits, and behavior change towards these issues. Something like that. So yeah, I want to share a bit about living in the Nordics. Well, I still know nothing about the Nordics, but I've experienced the air, the water here, and also living for a couple of weeks here. So from the environment, like as we know, like Nordic countries are on the top development countries economically speaking. You can Google that. Like Nordic country stands for Norway and Swedish, and what else? Denmark and Finland, Iceland. And well, living here, they have a really high air and water quality that even you can like if you are here, you can drink for any tap water anywhere, and it's clean. And also they have maintained natural resources. And when I was going around the city, I was amazed that in only a small city, the landscape can change drastically from the urban area to suddenly it changed to forests, and suddenly it changed to, I don't know, like suburban area, something like that. And they also have waste deficiency, like they are in need of more waste because they use the waste to heat the city, because well, we have heater, centralized heater system, because the weather is kind of cold now. It's autumn here, and they need more waste to generate the heat, the energy for the heating system. And they also have controlled wildlife population. So you can see here, like it looks like a goat, right? But it's it's a semi domestic, wait, what is it? Domesticated wildlife. So, and this picture is was taken when I was in Finland, and my friend said that they have this policy, once a year they can hunt the animals there, but of course with some restriction, with some limitation, to control the population, because if it's overpopulation, it won't be good as well, something like that. And talking about economy, well, yeah, people here have high income, but it's also come with high taxes to pay for externalities. So the income gap here is not really high, because if you have a high salary here, then you will have a high taxes also. Like sometimes if you have a really high salary, then you need to pay for 60% tax to the government, because the government will use the tax for social safety net, like the health care and education, and some family needs here are provided for free from the government. And also to maintain the environmental condition here, it is also comes from the tax. So yeah, well, I already mentioned about the sustainability approach, and as maybe you already see that the sustainability approach are widely fragmented, and it is so sectoral and institutional centered that it's hard to measure the impacts. But then the impacts as whole needs to be measured, right? And then Indonesia have a dilemma, like we have a rapid growth GDP, but still high in inequality, and also high climate cost. And also, well, as I mentioned before, a lot of sustainability efforts across various sectors, but then the impacts remain a big question, whether the efforts are really making an impact or not. And then most sustainability approach are market-led, community-based, and sometimes it's only to achieve sectoral or institutional interests. So sometimes when people say about sustainability, people would perceive it as like a branding, greenwashing, and something like that. And then there comes the role of accounting valuation. We need an integrated accounting valuation, but not only to measure the outcomes or the output, or what have we been spent for sustainability effort, but what reports or that have been produced from that, but also the impact. Is it really impactful for the environment, for the social, and also for the economic, or not? And accounting valuation won't be useful for sustainable development if we don't use it properly for sustainable purposes, of course. And then, well, the result from accounting valuation, not only from the economic perspective, but also from the ecosystem and also from the social and something like that. It needs to push forward the policy empowerment towards the sustainability development. Well, after all, we only have one Earth as a resource for the whole population on Earth that is about 8 billion people and more. So accounting valuation holds the key whether to make economic welfare as an excuse to destroy the nature and create inequalities, or to advance the movement towards sustainable development for a promising future. So, well, I guess, yeah, what I'm saying here is your role in sustainable development is highly needed. Like you have a really important role in supporting the sustainable development, and it's your choice if you want to support it or not. Well, we have a quote from a management expert, Peter Drucker. It's very relevant and also makes sense to this issue. Like if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So that's also highlighting the role of accounting valuation, the importance of accounting valuations in natural resources management. Okay, so this is the reading list. If you are interested to learn more about what I have presented, you can go to this link. And I also would like to introduce my program to you, my MBA program, because this is like an exceptional programs for future leaders. Like I saw so many young people here, and you guys are the future leaders in economics and also in protecting the environment and for social welfare in the future. So this is the program called ASEAN Master in Sustainability Management. Like it is a new program, and also it's a breakthrough MBA program, because before that Indonesia didn't have any sustainability management program. And it is brought together by the Gajah Mada University, UGM, and also the University of Agder, UiA from Norway, and supported by the ASEAN University Network and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Norway. So currently, well, I am the first batch of this program, and currently the second batch already enrolled the program as well. And actually hopefully next year will be, I think next year, hopefully it will be another batch that will be open for submission. So maybe some of you can also apply for this, because this is really will broaden your knowledge, not only from economic or business management, but also in the whole sustainability aspects. Okay, so I will play a promotion video, maybe for 10 minutes, so we can relax and I can relax a bit. Can you hear the sound? Development is not only for infrastructure.
Yes,
it's not.
we can hear it.
When we pursue sustainability and development, we allow our communities to flourish as well, and also allowing future generations to enjoy what we're having.
The biggest problem or challenge to sustainability is the lack of collective action from different countries and different governments, stakeholders. It is a global problem. So without the collective actions and joining hand to work together to solve this problem, then we cannot overcome sustainability. So collective actions is a way forward to solve this problem. So
sustainability issues cannot only be seen like from one country perspective. Since ASEAN, we share borders, we share similar cultures, issues. I think it's important for us to gather and discuss it on ASEAN context. So I think that's another reason why this program is very, very good. I am very fortunate to make this program because I can learn from the expert from Norway and ASEAN countries.
It was in 2018. We proposed the program to the Norwegian government through the Norwegian embassy for the ASEAN countries. They have the ideas of how the people in ASEAN manage the economy and at the same time manage the environment. So they agree with our proposal to create the program.
This is the first program that we do interdisciplinary courses, which is also a challenge. But on the other hand, we are building upon the successful MBA program of the university. And this is the first time where we are inviting all ASEAN participants as the student, a pioneer program for and many different aspects from sustainability, including the participants from ASEAN countries.
We want to see the enthusiasm of the students, and we have a very, very good student. They are eager to learn, okay, and they work hard. And this makes the lecturer, okay, they are more motivated to teach in the class. So I think this is one thing that I see from this class.
We have been accredited by the AACSB accreditation. And with that accreditation, we actually have a system which ensures the teaching and learning process according to a set standard. So the program is designed in 3 semesters. The first semester, we have the core courses with the fundamentals of business and management. And then on the second semester, we divide it into 2 parts. The first part, we have the strategic management, business sustainable strategy, sustainable business strategy. And then we have the general business environment. And then we also have the research method in concentration. And afterwards, students can choose between 2 tracks. Third semester, then they can go for the internship, which includes the opportunity to go to Norway. So all students will receive a dual degree from first an MBA degree from Gajah Mada University, and then an MSc degree from the University of Agder in Norway. We are aware that for during the pandemic, online learning is a key part in the teaching and learning process. Therefore, as part of the scholarship scheme is that we support them with some financial means for the technology, laptops, microphone, or other webcam for the learning process. For now, we use some hybrid learning system. So we install in our classrooms specific cameras which are able to track the movement of the lecturers. They're unable to attend the courses, they can still follow via online learning platform like Zoom and Teams. We are ready for the next post-pandemic situation and equipped our classes with necessary technology as well. So in terms of facilitation, I would say we look forward to greeting you all.
It's taught within the ASEAN context because previously, like if we talk about sustainability economic, we almost always look to the Western side. But there's actually many things to be learned within the ASEAN context, our local wisdom. So I think that's what's very great about these programs. You really don't have to look further to get this information, to learn from the experts. It's right here in our region.
My first expectation is that we can broaden our network and know each other. We can understand the context in the ASEAN better because we experience from the first person view. It's very interesting, and in the class that we have a lot of discussion and we share the knowledge, we share the experiences, we share the condition in each country. So yeah, it's a remarkable experience for me.
I have a good network with my fellows. They are very talented youth. From experience, it will be more easier for us to cooperate in the group.
I think the lessons that I've learned from this program will be very helpful for for me to go back to my career in the government. Specifically, I am planning to apply to the Department of Information and Communications Technology. I think I could help put our country in a better position.
So mainly in the future, I would go back to my hometown to contribute to the society, especially in the tourism perspective.
I would still go back again to the financial and renewable energy industry because I think, again, there's so much work to be done, not just in Malaysia, but also in other ASEAN countries. I want to develop sustainable business but with the forest conservation base. Besides conserving the forest and also giving wildlife in the forest, we can also develop the economic of the local people and also developing economic friendly forest conservation through carbon business because it's a big potential.
I'm planning to be one of the sustainability consultant in Indonesia because I see that in the business world in Indonesia, there are still a gap between the business and the sustainability. Basically, they have good intention on sustainability, but they simply don't know how to manage that. I think it will be very beneficial for Indonesia and for me if I can help the corporate or the government agencies to do some initiative or program towards sustainability.
I think we are now living in a very complicated situations where we are facing global pandemic, global financial crisis, global climate crisis or climate change. So that's why it is more needed for us now to equip our students with also global mindset. How we can also invite the future global leaders to participate in these programs to address the sustainability issues that may be not only useful for them now, but also for our future generations.
I'm so honored to be part of this program. I'm feeling honored to know about my students. They are the most inspiring and they are the one that teaching me actually. So far of my experience teaching this subject, which is ethics, a lot of surprise elements that they are the one that teach you, they are the one that sharing the experience to you, they enrich your knowledge, they enrich your horizon. This is what's happening to us in my country, in my community. I learned a lot from them.
Active students, a lot of
Exactly,
sharing,
yes.
also experiences sharing. They are so excellent, a lot of sharing within the class, and then I feel proud to be a part of this community within my class.
But I feel that I'm proud to be part of the discussion with our students. They have their backgrounds and experience, and we had a wonderful discussion during the class of that we potentially have a big contribution, and we are having a good contribution to the world at the moment. So having this discussion in Asian countries with Asian students, I think it will be very beneficial in the future as well for the Asian development as well.
For the future batches of ASEAN Master in Sustainability Management, go for it because climate change is happening right now. We all should play a role in terms of protecting our environment. This course really opened my eyes to a lot of possibilities, to a lot of situations that I didn't have in my home country. So I think the diversity of the class would really help us also to see other aspects of sustainability.
So we can grow together and strong together. We need people who are aware that we cannot alone in this region. So we hope that the universities in ASEAN together we create the future leaders, can develop the economics and also take care of the nature.
All right. So that's about the program. So as you can hear from the video that we came from a different, so diverse background from the expertise and also the countries because there are a lot of non-Indonesian ASEAN students there. And if you are interested to and want to learn more about the program, you can just go to these websites, the ASEAN Sustainability.mba or from the UWIA website, something like that. Okay, I guess this is the end of my session, my presentation today. and thank you for the attention. Hopefully, I don't exceed the 1.5 hour session. Thank you. I will give the session back to Mas Alif.
Well, thank you, Mbak Sari, for a fantastic and insightful presentation. Please give applause for Mbak Sari, you guys. Okay, the quote, if you can measure it, you can manage it. It's a powerful message and also a reminder for us, especially Directorate of Valuation and of course the GSAM, that we have this big role in sustainable development by determining the monetary value of ecosystem assets and the services for the accounts needed for policymakers to achieve the mentioned sustainable goals. Well, our next agenda is discussing session, and therefore I would like to invite our participants first today to raise your hands and ask questions to our speaker, Mbak Sari. I'm sure our speaker will gladly share her perspective, experience, and knowledge regarding today's topic. So if any of you have questions, please raise your hands. I see Pak Hari. Pak Hari, you can ask the question. Please, Pak Hari.
Okay, thank you, Mas Alif. Hello, Mbak Sari. How are you there?
Hello, Pak. I hope it's not a hard question.
No, we have discussed before. Thank you for coming in our invitation and join with us in this group. And, I think you give us a lot of information, and that is very useful for us. And the second, I'm so sorry because Mr. Ari is not join with us because he has any some business in Jogja. So salam from him to Mbak Sari. Mbak Sari, I want to know about ini. By your presentation, nice presentation about solar and I mean not only solar maybe about resources. We have a lot of resources about solar and wind maybe and wind. What is your opinion about our abundant resources, solar and wind maybe to make a new energy without we not use again about electricity, but we use this energy to create new resources. And the
For
second,
the electricity?
yes, for the electricity. And the second, do you know we are Directorate of Valuation Directorate is under DGSAM, Directorate General State Asset Management, and maybe all of us is younger maybe Mbak Sari. So thank you for your information. I hope some of us will be follow Mbak Sari to be another candidate to your program. And I think the subject is very related with our business and our to see. Mbak Sari, I mean, Direktorat Penilaian atau us to give any contribution for accounting the service. What should we do as we discussed before, because this is our start. And of course, in the start, we have any maybe any our knowledge is very very low very sedikit itu Mbak Sari. Maybe that is our question, Mas Alif, Mbak Sari. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Pak Hari, for your questions. Pak Hari has 2 questions. Mbak Sari, you got the questions, right? Okay, Mbak Sari, you can answer.
I answer it right away? Okay.
Yeah.
So for the first question, if I'm not mistaken, if I understand you right, you are asking about my opinion about the renewable energy sources like solar and also wind, right? Well, yeah. Well, for me, of course, we need to move towards renewable energy source development, because we can't rely on coal and oil and renewable energy resources, because we will run out of them. And if we run out of them, and then we will be doomed, because we don't have any energy resources anymore for the future. But then, of course, like transition from coal energy to renewable energy takes sometimes effort and willingness and a lot of work, of course, because it's not when we are moving towards renewable energy, I guess we can't talk only on the technology perspective. It's not only the issue of we don't have the technology or something like that. Like technology, I guess it's the easiest part, because developed countries already develop the renewable energy technology and strategies and something like that, and of course we can learn from them. But then what we need to work on more is in the policy, like in the decision making. Are we going towards the renewable energy or not? And from what we are doing right now, is it contributing to the renewable energy movement or not? That's the first thing. And because it's not only on the government side, in in this energy transition, like of course the government have a really important role in the policy and like decision making process and something like that. But then it is also supported by individuals and also the institutions from the non government sectors, and also from the research institutions and something like that. And also we need to think that the work is not only on the technology and not only on the policy, and also the ability of us to use and to maintain the system, something like that, because it's new. Of course, it will be different with our current electricity system from the PLN, and like it is. Do we want to learn more about it? Do we want to do more or spend more money on it? It's the question to be asked as individual or as institutional and something like that. And for the resources, I guess we have a lot of resources, because from my previous program, it's not only from the solar energy, like not only PLTS, that the program has been helping the Kementerian ESDM to build the facilities on renewable energy, but it's also from micro hydro, like utilizing the waterfall, like the energy from the waterfall to provide electricity to the nearest village that don't have the electricity source from PLN, something like that. And what else? The second question, I guess, about the program, isn't it, Pak? And well, yeah, the program, I think it's very suitable for, especially for the people who works in the Ministry of Finance, because, and it's not only for the business sectors, because I didn't come from business sector. I did my work on social work and also from conservation work, and I guess my friends, also my colleague in the program, some of them work as a consultant, some of them work as a government official, and some of them work I don't know, researchers, something like that. So we have a diverse background, but we have a genuine purpose to learn more about the sustainability and how can we do to support the sustainability development in our countries, and not only in Indonesia but also in ASEAN countries, something like that. And is there any question that I haven't answered, but I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Mbak Sari. I mean, about this, the DGCM, our Directorate of Valuation contribution to make a account.
Oh, okay,
of
contribution,
this. Yeah.
right? Yeah, of course, the contribution. Maybe you can see what is your prospect contribution to sustainability from individual and from institutional level. Like from individual, of course, you have to know what you are doing now and what it can contribute to. Like, why are you doing this? Are you just doing this just for getting salary and get things done, or you have like, like if you are doing it, then you will contribute to something. That's the first thing that, yeah, I guess you guys need to know. And because I guess we are used to do work just because we have to work, not because, oh, we do the work because it will contribute to something like that. So and also recognizing our role in our work and to future decision making process is also will be important, like being more curious about our work now. Like, if I done this work, then what will happen after that? We can be curious and investigate it ourselves, that what our work will contribute, like what's the impacts of our work right now. It's also the essence of sustainability. Like, we know like the impacts of whatever we are doing right now, something like that. Like when I was working in orangutan conservation, I flight a lot. Like, I can fly 4 times to 5 times in a month or more, just to, because yeah, my base is in Jakarta, and I have worked also in Kalimantan, different parts of Kalimantan, and also I have maybe meeting in Jogja, something like that. And then, well, I really spend a lot of carbon emission because of that, because I flight a lot, and flying really emits a huge amount of carbon emission. But then if we are only thinking about that, we won't do anything. Then instead of thinking, then I started to thinking, okay, if I fly there, what can I produce from that? Because I already create some amount of emission, then I need to do something to as an effort to, what is it, to trade for the carbon emission that I already spent, something like that. So yeah, it's like a spiritual journey. Like, if like your role and something like that, you need to, like, you have to be reflected in a spiritual way. Because if we are only do it for I don't know, for something for economic benefits, or maybe for getting popular, because the term is so popular like now. So, and you can get like the essence, you can achieve the real purpose of the sustainability itself, because sustainability is more of how we can maintain the resources, and how we can be a good human being to everyone else, to other people, and also for the environmental condition around ourselves. I think, yeah, Pak, hope it answer your question well.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mbak Sari. And Mbak Sari,
Mhm.
may I get your PowerPoint?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, thank
I
you. Thank you.
already shared my
Oh, thank you.
PowerPoints to Mbak Puspa. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mbak Sari.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hari.
Okay.
The next question we have Mbak Bu Mahainipuri Windari, if I'm not mistaken. Bu Mahainipuri Windari, maybe if you want to ask directly to Mbak Sari, or I just read it. Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
maybe
hi,
it's-
sorry.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm at home, so exactly with my kids, so maybe there'll be some disturbance from my kid. Okay, Mbak Sari, good evening. I have a question. I mean, I saw your presentation is very interesting, and I have a question from your perspective, your expertise, that do you think Indonesia still could manage the resource in sustainable way? Because you benchmark it with the Norway, and I think it's kind of not apple to apple, since the Norway is developed and they don't have like exponential growth of the populations, and whilst we do, and we're still struggling with the economic development and so on. And do you think that, I mean, call me pessimistic, but I don't think that we could. As we know that the carbon tax or carbon trade is like very low level, as the government already issued right now. So do you still that we can manage our resource sustainable?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Okay, I guess
So,
I
Mbak Sari,
will.
you can answer it.
Thank you, Mas Alif. Well, yeah, thank you for the question, Bu. It's very interesting because that's exactly the issues with sustainability perspective in Indonesia, especially. And then, well, I didn't mean to compare Indonesia to Norway because it's very, we have different level with Norway, but I just want to give an example how sustainability works, because Norway is a leading country as well for sustainability. And also, from my side, do I think Indonesia can manage its resources sustainably? Well, if you ask, does Indonesia can or not? Well, I would answer, of course, Indonesia can manage their resources sustainably. But then the question is, do we want to manage our resources sustainably? Because like we have a lot of work in Indonesia, especially in the development process. Like from the education, we have really like still low, even though maybe there are more people who graduate from the bachelor and get their bachelor degree, but then it's on the mindset. Like in the mindset in Indonesia is still focused more on the economic benefits, and we can get any sustainable achievements from that because we have a lot of resources. The economic benefits that we achieve come from the natural resources that we have a lot. And so there's a term of resource curse in management, because we have a lot of resources, then we take it for granted, and then after it already there's nothing left of it, then we will be doomed. I mean, like if we want to move towards sustainability, we need to think about that, and we can't move forward to we can move forward if our mindset is still in the present condition. And yeah, of course, like how can I care for the environment or for the poor people if my family can eat properly, like my family, I can, if I can provide my family well, how can I contribute to other people and to the environment, something like that. Well, I heard that a lot, but well, yeah, sometimes I think about that too. Actually, well, we live in the same country. I know the condition. I experience the exact same condition. But then, well, I think, yeah, like what matters the most is our our decision in everyday's life. Like you don't have to be a hero for environmental protection or social justice, something like that. Like just a little bit action, maybe like this, joining this discussion, and also you are more curious on what's uh, happening outside our personal life and something like that. It's already helpful. And yeah, well, we still have a lot of work, but if we don't work it now, we don't move forward, right? So I guess we can if we want. That's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mbak Sari. Okay. Maybe another participant. If oh yeah, we have Mas Gumi. Mas Gumi, you can give your question.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mas Alif. Nice to meet you, Mbak Sari. I'm Gumilang. Maybe I have a question. There is a possibilities can trade directly the carbon trading to become a source of funding for conservation costs to maintain biodiversity in forest. Maybe any example of or best practice in other Asian countries such as Thailand, Malaysia, or Philippines maybe. And second, are in the Nordic have such a program zero waste management maybe that can add up in Indonesian, and are the system give or generate income from the citizen, yeah, and there is any incentive from the government so attract citizen to reduce, reuse, recycle their waste. Thank you, Mbak Sari.
Okay, thank you, Mas Gumi. So for the first question, you were asking about the carbon tax scheme, right? The trading between carbons from the forest and also the emission trade from the emission that produced by the industry, right? So well, actually, Indonesia already have the policy for that. If you ever know about the HPH, Hak Pengusahaan Hutan, it is the license from the Ministry of Environment and Forestry given to the business sector to manage an area of production forest, and that license can be used for logging concession or industrial forest concession, which commonly used for to grow trees for pulp, for paper. And also there's an interesting as like the similar license, but it's for restoration concession. Like previously, they developed the policy to allow companies to do the restoration efforts, like because they are already distracted forests from the previous logging or plantation, and then the Ministry of Forestry tried to attract investors on business sectors to do the restoration efforts for the land. And it's also including the carbon tax SIM, like the company can get the money from, can do the business on carbon tax, like if there's any companies that emits carbon emission, and then they want to redeem their sins, they can give some money to that companies who do the restoration efforts. The policy was established in 2004, and then until 2000, and I think until now it's only 16 companies doing that, and all are in stagnant stage, because the policy regarding that regulate the carbon trading SIM is not it's not there yet. So there are a lot of confusions, and instead of getting money, like if it's pure business, they have to make a profit to run the companies, right? But then the policy demands the companies to spend more than to get profit from that, because there were no clear policy regulating about the carbon tax strategy, or cap and trade, or something like that. And actually it was my previous work, because I with my NGO, with my previous NGO, we established a company to manage an area of forest to release orangutans there, and also to develop what is it what is it, like we want to make a business SIM to conserve the orangutans, but also to make economic benefits from the area, and we plan to collaborate with the community for the business. But then it's not really their focus, I guess, because after 2 years we still didn't get the license even until now. So yeah, it's a lot of work. Like if I give up, maybe, well, I already gave up because I left my work to focus on my thesis, but then I still want to do something in the future after I graduate. And well, yeah, I think that the problem and the work that the government needs to do is to make a clear regulation on the implementation of the carbon tax SIM, something like that. And I don't know about the other ASEAN countries, but that's our homework. And what's the second question again?
About zero waste program, maybe on Nordic.
Oh, okay. For the zero waste program here, so actually everyone here already separate their waste, and they can just put some garbage bin outside, and the government will take it. Like there will be some people to take it to manage, something like that. So it's already, the system already run well here.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Sari.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mas Gumi. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I believe you guys still have tons of questions in your head, but unfortunately, due to the time limits, I think we have to close our discussion session for today. But before we close it, I can conclude from Mbak Sari's presentation is that economic and natural capital accounting holds a critical role in sustainable development because it helps identify the change in economic value of ecosystems. And for me, it is very important in evaluating the externality incurred in our natural resources and also in the social life. So in order to achieve the SDGs, the development of natural capital accounting is very critical. But yeah, we still has a lot of works in achieving the goals. But if we want it, we can make it. Okay. So once again, thank you, Mbak Sari, for the presentation. It's very fantastic. It's very insightful. Thank you for the TVD team for arranging this event, and thank you everyone for joining today's sharing session. Well, I do apologize if there were any mistakes for me as a moderator during the session. Just for information, if you were late to join our session today, don't worry because you can rewatch the recording from our YouTube page, official Directorate Penilaian DJKN. Well, I hope you learned something today. Maybe Mbak Sari, you have something to say before I close the session? No? Okay. If you find this session informative and valuable, please don't hesitate to share what you guys got in our social media, or you can tag Directorate Valuation on Instagram and show your support by giving thumbs up and subscribe to Directorate Valuation YouTube channel. Okay, I'm Alif. Thanks for your attention. That's all from me. Have a great rest. And next time we will see you again in another TP design session. Back to you, Mas Bayu. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mas Alif. The discussion session regarding critical role of accounting valuation for sustainable development has ended. All participants have gathered in the main room. Isn't the discussion fun? I am certain it is. Dear friends and colleagues, as the question and answer session comes to an end, it marks the end of our group discussion for today. It has surely been a delightful moment for us as we can enrich our knowledge related to critical role of accounting valuation for sustainable development. On behalf of all the committee and all colleagues behind the screen, we would like to thank the speaker, Mbak Sari, and our moderator, Mas Alif, and the participation of all members who have been very enthusiastic through the whole event. Honorable friends and colleagues, with this concludes the whole event for today. We do apologize if there is any mistake or something that make uncomfortable during this session. We are looking forward to see you in the future event. Stay safe, stay healthy. I am Andriawan Bayu Pramana signing off. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mbak Sari.
Thank you, Mbak Sari.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mbak Sari.
Bye, semuanya.